Peace does not begin in treaties or in grand speeches. It does not rise from the ashes of victory or the silence that follows surrender. Peace begins quietly in a place no one else can see, in the trembling, uncertain chambers of the human heart. Every war, every conflict, every harsh word that breaks a friendship begins first as unrest within. Before hands strike, before voices shout, the storm gathers in the unseen corners of a person's soul. The mind becomes a battlefield where fear fights understanding, and pride argues with humility. The world mirrors this inner struggle. And so, if peace is to return to the world, it must first return to the heart that beats within us. To find peace, one must begin by listening not to the noise outside, but to the quiet ache inside. There is a soft voice there, often buried under layers of worry, anger, or desire. It does not shout. It whispers. It waits for stillness. When we dare to stop running from ourselves, when we dare to sit in silence and meet the thoughts we avoid, something begins to shift. The walls we built around our hearts begin to soften. We start to see not the world as it wounds us, but as it calls us to heal. Many believe peace is found when everything is finally perfect, when the bills are paid, when the noise stops, when everyone agrees. But peace is not the absence of noise, nor the end of struggle. It is the gentle breath that steadies us in the midst of it all. It is the small, deliberate act of choosing calm even when chaos surrounds us. Imagine a pond at dawn. The water is still, a mirror of the pale sky. Then, a breeze passes, or a pebble falls, and ripples spread. The pond does not resist. It accepts the movement. It allows the ripples to fade in their own time. And soon, stillness returns. So too must the heart learn to be like the pond, open, patient, and forgiving of the disturbances that come. Sometimes, peace is found in moments so small they almost go unnoticed. A deep breath before answering an angry voice, a pause before judgment, a smile given to someone who seems undeserving of kindness. These are the small seeds of peace. They are humble and quiet, yet they grow into mighty trees that shelter our weary spirits. But the hardest peace to make is often the one with ourselves. Many carry old wounds, unspoken regrets, and hidden shame. We replay mistakes, punishing ourselves long after the world has forgotten them. True peace begins the moment we forgive ourselves, not because we deserve to forget, but because we deserve to heal. The past cannot be rewritten, but it can be redeemed by the compassion we show ourselves today. To forgive yourself is not weakness. It is courage. It means you are willing to face your humanity, your limits, your errors, your unpolished corners, and still see something sacred there. When we hold that tenderness toward ourselves, we begin to extend it naturally to others. A person at peace within no longer needs to prove their worth or demand control. They become like a calm river, deep, strong, and quietly alive. There is a simple truth that often escapes us. The peace we give to others reflects the peace we allow within. A bitter heart cannot speak gentle words. A restless mind cannot create harmony around it. But when a person finds stillness inside, their presence itself becomes a prayer. You feel it in their tone, their patience, their eyes that listen more than they judge. They walk through the world lightly, leaving behind not footprints of noise, but traces of calm. The journey toward that peace is not quick. It is not achieved through rules or slogans. It grows like dawn, slow, inevitable, beautiful. It begins with small awakenings, noticing when anger rises, recognizing the fear behind harsh words, understanding that every person you meet carries an invisible burden. Compassion is born from that awareness. And compassion is the mother of peace. We live in a time where noise surrounds us, constant opinions, arguments, and fears that chase each other across glowing screens. The world feels divided, restless, uncertain. But no technology, no law, no movement can give us peace if our hearts remain in turmoil. The world heals when the human heart heals. The quiet revolution begins inside each person who chooses kindness over cynicism, presence over distraction, and listening over reaction. Sometimes, peace means letting go not of effort, but of control. It means accepting that not everything can be fixed or understood. It is the humility to say, I do not have all the answers, and yet to keep loving anyway. When we loosen our grip, the hands that once clung in fear become open, ready to bless, to comfort, to give. Consider a field after the rain. The soil, dark and heavy, seems wounded by the storm. But beneath, seeds awaken. The rain that seemed violent was also a gift. So too are the storms of the heart. They humble us, soften us, and teach us that peace is not something we protect from life. It is something we learn to carry through it. Every day offers a choice. When we wake, we can either arm ourselves with defensiveness or clothe ourselves with gentleness. We can rush, or we can breathe. We can speak from fear, or we can speak from love. These are small choices, but together, they shape a lifetime. Think of the people who changed your life not with grand gestures, but with quiet presence. Someone who listened without judgment, who believed in you when you doubted yourself, who offered calm when you were lost. Their peace became yours. This is how peace multiplies, not through conquest, but through connection. In a world obsessed with being right, peace often begins with being kind. To choose kindness does not mean surrendering truth. It means delivering truth gently, with the awareness that another heart is listening. A peaceful person does not silence others. They create space for others to be heard. There is beauty in such simplicity. When we let go of the need to win every argument, we begin to win something greater: understanding. When we stop defending every wound, we make room for healing. When we stop measuring our worth against others, we rediscover the quiet dignity of simply being alive. Peace does not need to be dramatic. It can be found in the way sunlight touches the wall each morning, or in the rhythm of your breathing when you lie awake at night. It can live in the warmth of a cup of tea, or in the sound of laughter that returns after grief. Life keeps offering moments of stillness, invitations to rest in the sacred now. Most of the time, we are too busy to accept them. But when we do, we touch eternity. And peace, once tasted, changes us. We begin to see the world not as a threat, but as a teacher. We see pain not as punishment, but as part of the human journey. We realize that every person we meet, even those who hurt us, are mirrors, showing us what still needs healing inside. The one who angers us reveals where we still hold pride. The one who frightens us reveals where we still lack trust. In this way, life itself becomes the classroom of peace. True peace is not fragile. It does not depend on everything going right. It lives in the person who can smile through uncertainty, who can stand in the rain without cursing the clouds. It lives in the one who still chooses love, again and again, even when it would be easier to close the heart. When peace dwells in you, you stop searching for it elsewhere. You no longer chase approval or recognition. You begin to rest in your own being, not because it is perfect, but because it is whole. You discover that peace was never something to be found. It was something to be remembered. It was waiting for you all along, beneath the noise, beneath the fear, beneath the self you thought you had to become. Each of us carries within a spark of divine calm, the stillness that existed before the first heartbeat. To return to it is to return home. The world will continue to roar and shift, but within that sacred center, you will find the silence that cannot be shaken. From that silence, love flows. It softens your words, brightens your eyes, and steadies your hands. You begin to move through life with quiet strength. You become a refuge for others, not by solving their pain, but by showing them that peace is possible even within it. And one day, without realizing it, you become part of something larger. Your peace becomes a thread in the great tapestry of healing. It touches your family, your community, perhaps even someone far away whom you will never meet. The ripples spread. The world changes, not through force, but through the calm radiance of hearts that have found their way back to love. Peace begins in the heart. It is born when we learn to forgive, to listen, to breathe, to be gentle with ourselves and with others. It does not shout. It whispers. It grows in silence, like light expanding at dawn. And as it grows, it reminds us that every heartbeat is an opportunity to begin again, to be softer, to be kinder, to be whole. So tonight, as you rest, let go of the noise. Set down the burden of being right, the fear of being wrong, the endless reaching for more. Feel the rhythm of your breathing. Feel the quiet that lives beneath your thoughts. That is peace. It is already yours. May it stay with you. May it grow within you. And may it flow through you until every step you take becomes a blessing, and every breath becomes a prayer for a world at peace.